Good morning, friends, and welcome back to our summer vlog series where basically I just take you with me throughout my days and weeks of the summer. This is the first one, and in it we are going to have a DIY Disney Coco inspired nacho table party. So I saw this idea on TikTok. It went viral, I believe, and then I thought, to kick off the summer, because my daughter Callie graduated from preschool and is going to kindergarten, and because I'm a teacher full-time, I thought what better way than to have a taco party. And then I remembered the nacho tables. I'm gonna take you with me. I'm gonna show you every step so that you can also do this. Of course, you can do this any time of the year. I think this would be really fun even for Halloween, obviously for Cinco de Mayo, for Dia de los Muertos, for any basic celebration that you're gonna have. I think you can't go wrong with a nacho table. So I wanna show you everything I got. I'm gonna unpack it in the boxes behind me, in the bags behind me, and I'm excited to spend the next few days with you showing you how I'm putting this together. Okay, so some things you should know about this party is that I am planning it 24 hours in advance. So if you've seen any of our parties, like our Disney Belle birthday party for Callie, you know that I typically plan my parties weeks to months in advance, but I just didn't have the time or energy to do it, and that is the most real thing I think I've ever said here on the internet. So I want to show you what I got. I want to show you how much it cost. We are having, I think it's going to be 5 adults and 4 kiddos. I probably got too much, but I am going to try to cover my whole elongated dining room table, which I will also show you. It's right over here. Let me show you the groceries and the prep. I made 2 stops, one at the grocery store. I do live in Massachusetts, so I went to Stop and Shop, and then one also at Walmart. So I was inspired by the colors of Coco. It is Callie's current favorite movie. So I'm trying to do plates and utensils. I bought 2 orange table covers because they remind me of the flowers that are used on the ofrendas. This, I don't yet know what I'm doing with, but it's very cute. I bought some balloons, and I also bought a helium tank because you can't have a party without balloons. And I feel like if I had done this with more time, I would have definitely gone to Elevated Impressions because Brie does amazing work. But I'm gonna see what I can put together. And then I also bought these 2 mini taco piñatas. I'm not gonna fill them, I'm just gonna put them on the table as decor. So at Walmart, I did also buy a bathing suit top and flowers. It cost me about $40, but keep in mind that also includes a helium tank. So these are the colors of Coco. There's a little bit of red sprinkled in the pom-pom garland, but I thought like the blue, definitely a lot of orange. I'm gonna be using yellow on top of the table as well, yellow and pink. And then sprinkled a little bit of lime green throughout the movie, but I love the vibrancy. As for the groceries, I am going to put up a screenshot of my grocery list, and then you can save that image if you'd like. And I'll also be putting it later this week on Instagram, so that way you can have a grocery list. It really isn't as much as it looks. So we do the tortilla chips. We're gonna sprinkle those down the middle. I have ground beef here. And then I kind of went crazy with sauces. So we do Hood sour cream only in this household. Guacamole, which I might make also for myself, like make some from scratch. Some salsa. This looked really interesting, an avocado salsa. I bought this for Mark. Jalapeno and pineapple hummus because that screams Mark. And then I also have some limes to scatter throughout the table. I'm gonna break up these bunches of cilantro and kind of add them as fresh pops on the table as well. We have avocado, tomatoes, a red onion, lots of cheese because that's everybody's favorite part, some olives, and then I know this is gonna sound strange, but I'm gonna try to make like churro popcorn where you mix in cinnamon sugar with popped popcorn and then mix in some kettle corn. And I also got some M&Ms to do that with because that will be fun and colorful. And then tomorrow I'm gonna try to make my own churros. So you will definitely be along for that journey as well. And then you mix some cinnamon with sugar. I hope they are delicious, but I bought the oil because you have to cook the churros in the oil. I grabbed some taco seasoning, which you could surely also make yourself. I got one in mild and one in original. So at the grocery store for all of this, it cost me $86 for this meal. So you could do all of this under $100 by using your own plates, perhaps by not buying as much, depending on the amount of people coming to your party. But you could really forego all of the things that are from Walmart and just do this with plates and utensils that you already have. And you certainly don't need a helium tank. Ooh, let me show you. This is the helium tank. It runs around $23. It comes with 30 different colored balloons, which I thought would be helpful, and they're in the colors that we like. With this ribbon, I have used one of these tanks for years. It seems like our house always has one. It fills up 27 to 30 regular sized balloons, and then if you have bigger 11 to 18 inch helium balloons, it fills up about 14 to 16 of those. So this is definitely a more than one time use situation. This is my dining table. So we do currently have 6 seats around it. I don't anticipate us, if it's nice out, actually eating inside, but I'm gonna cover the table itself with those orange plastic tablecloths and then coat the whole thing in yellow craft paper so I can write on it. And that way anything that's greasy won't necessarily go through. I am going to utilize bowls and stands and charcuterie boards to try to make things separate from each other, like make stations. But this is what the table, please excuse that gift bag. This is what the whole dining room table looks like. Before I put my groceries away and in the refrigerator, I wanted to remind you about an app that I love. It's totally free. This is not sponsored. It's called Fetch. I know I've talked about this, I think last summer actually. Let me show you what it looks like. It's this little white one right here with the puppy on it. And the idea is that when you scan your receipts, it actually earns you bonus points, and then you can turn those points into gift cards, or now you can turn them into donations. So I'm actually going to record my screen so that I can show you and walk you through the process of what to do. So when you open Fetch, you'll notice in the upper right-hand corner what your total points are, and you can see that I'm just saving mine. And all you do is you open the camera, I click snap because I still get paper receipts most places, and then you take a photo of your receipt. It's going to check off the store, the total amount you spent, and the date you spent it, and then in the bottom right-hand corner, you hit submit, and it will tell you how many points. So I just earned 25 points for my Walmart trip, and I'm going to do the same exact thing, and you can see that you can do this with e-receipts as well. Doing the same thing with my Stop and Shop. And you can also, if your receipt is too long, take photos of it in sections. So I earned 213 points for Stop and Shop because of my Tostitos. So down below in the description box, I'm gonna leave my refer a friend link. So you will also get 2,000 points to start when you scan your first receipt using the code below. So it benefits both of us, and let me show you on the screen here what your rewards look like. So really, let's see, let's go to charity. So you can donate your points to a bunch of amazing places. The Clean Water Fund is one we actually talk about at school, Equal Justice Initiative, GLAAD, Girls Who Code, or you can also redeem them for gift cards at places that you love to shop. So I will leave all of that information below. It's taco party day, which means that I'm gonna start prep about 4 hours in advance, which is around right now. And I'm gonna start by covering the table, and I wanna show you how I do that. I have my $2 table covers from Walmart that I showed you yesterday. I have my scissors, some tape, and then I think the key component here is the craft paper. So I've seen this done with brown craft paper, even tin foil, but basically because foods are gonna be placed directly onto these papers, I just wanna make sure that they're not gonna be like leaky and go through the table or through the paper onto the table. So I wanted to show you step by step how I'm doing this. Just put one of these on the table. I didn't know if it was going to fit. It does say it's 108 inches long, so I might keep this one for the future. The other part of me is thinking, why don't I just double up? You know, we're just gonna double up. We're just gonna double up. So I've secured the edges. I've kind of wrapped them underneath so that way they don't float up and around. I toyed with the idea of like pinning this all back, but I'm not sure that's entirely necessary for this purpose. You could also like continue to wrap this around your table, especially if you were doing it with foil. But I think actually the color is kind of a nice component, and we're gonna have balloons on all the chairs. So the table is ready, and the plan is to use Sharpie to kind of write on this and point to the food item. You'll see it all. Okay, so now is the part that I've been excited but anxious about. It is the churro making portion of the day. So I did pick this up at Stop and Shop yesterday. I have never made churros, but since we are doing a Coco theme or a Coco inspiration, I wanted to try to make churros because they talk about them in the movie and we know it's part of Mexican culture. And Callie is big into Dia de los Muertos right now because of Coco. So my guess is we'll be doing a Coco themed birthday party. So I thought I would give this a whirl. The backup is churro inspired popcorn with like a kettle corn, cinnamon, sugar coated mix. But we're gonna try this first. So what I'm gonna do is in my Le Creuset. I've always called it a Le Creuset because I'm an uncultured swine. But in watching vlogs of Fashion Mumbler, she's British, and she and her fiance Charlie call it Le Creuset. So this was actually a wedding present. It's 11 years old. Our kitchen used to be yellow in a different house. Has served us well. So I am going to pour in here, it says 1.2 inches deep. I'm just gonna eyeball that. New vegetable oil for the job. And right now I do have a tea kettle on for boiling water because you basically mix this with boiling water. We'll see if this is enough oil. It's about this much. Okay, and we're gonna, now this is the scary part. No burning ourselves, okay? On medium heat to start. My stove is so clean. I desperately do not want oil splatters all over it. I'm gonna cut this mixture open, and then I just have my go-to white bowl that I'm gonna pour this into, and I'm gonna wait for the water to boil. I'm pouring 2 1/4 cups of boiling water into the whole mix. And then I am going to mix it well with a wooden spoon for about 20 seconds. It's already getting very clumpy. I feel like there's not enough water in here, so I'm just going to grab my tea kettle and do a little splash. because my feeling is that probably all of the dough should be wet. The next step is I cut the pastry. There's a pastry bag that comes with this. I cut the tip a little bit so it'll fit, and then I'm putting it into this cup so that I can easily move the dough. I say easily, but messily move the dough into the cup. And then the next step is the oil, which I just tested. Seems ready. See if this works. Okay, squeeze that down a little bit. The dough says squeeze out about 6 inches. And place it in the oil. Fry until brown. Okay. I'm just gonna keep doing them on the countertop and then gently putting them in the water. I also have a plate here with a paper towel on top and tongs. Wow. Okay. Look. It looks like a little poop. Okay, I might be getting brave enough to do this in the oil. Might be. Guys, these kind of look like churros. While this batch is frying, I'm just gonna get a little cinnamon sugar ready. I'm doing 3 tablespoons of sugar, and then I'm just gonna eyeball, I think, the cinnamon. Because cinnamon is very potent. Stir that together. All right, let me get the current churros out, and then we will dust them with this. Okay, let me show you these, okay? This was not hard. I hope they taste good. Hang on. Look, don't these kind of look, oh, that one's hot, like actual churros? Let me finish up this batch. Update on the churros. My bag sprung a leak. Also, there's no way on earth you need this much churro mix unless you are making churros for 50 people. So what I'm doing is I am making little churro dough balls, popping those in the oil. And then from there, what I'm gonna do is sprinkle them with cinnamon and sugar and mix them into the popcorn that I'm gonna make for the girls with candy. So I'm just taking little tiny balls like this, popping them in the oil, and then they're coming out like this, and I'm gonna sprinkle them with cinnamon and sugar. To show you what came with our helium tank, I got this bag of balloons. It also comes with, let me open it, this string so you can tie all your balloons up. So now I'm gonna get started with our balloons. And if you've never used a helium tank before, it's very easy. We are dressed for the party. We have about an hour to go, and what's left for me is I have to finish cooking up the taco meat because I want that to be warm and fresh and hot. I have to lay the chips all out on the table, get everything out, and then we will be ready. I'm thinking about doing all of that at around 4:30, so that way it's fresh for when our guests arrive, and it gives me some time to like video, take photos, etc. of our lovely table. But let me show you the tablescape as is. It looks a little bland at the moment, but I did put out our napkins, our plasticware, our plates from Walmart. My plan is to, amidst the flowers and up the middle, do kind of like a chip trail. And then I put dipping sauces on 4 quadrants. That this is a Lazy Susan that turns. Around the churros, I think I might just do extra chips. I have cheese and other things to go onto the table. I think once the table fills with food, it'll look a lot more cohesive for our party. Our garland is up, our balloons are about. I wanted to do like the orange from Coco on the ground for the balloons, kind of like the orange flower bridge. Okay, so I'm getting ready to make the churro fun popcorn. I just popped a bag of Pop Secret. It's very hot. Now I read that the key to good churro popcorn is a mix between salty and sweet. So I have this kettle corn seasoning that I'm just sprinkling in, and then I'm gonna do a little bit of the cinnamon sugar mixture. Whiz that around. Oh, it smells really good. A little more of the kettle corn seasoning. A little more cinnamon sugar on top. Like, who are we kidding? Like a lot more. And then on the top, I'm also gonna sprinkle in the churro. I have churro bites, I have churro balls, and the rest of the cinnamon sugar that came from them. And then let's shake that up a little bit. Don't worry, my hands are clean. Ooh, a stray. None of this cinnamon sugar goodness is going to waste. Mmm. And then to give it a little color, I think the girls are gonna love this, but I'm just sprinkling some M&Ms through the top. Don't forget, when you're doing an atmosphere for your party, it doesn't have to be wild. Today the details are flowers that I already had, balloons, and a playlist. And we're going to be using the Coco soundtrack. I'm pointing over here because this is where our Alexa is, and she's responding to me. But we are using the Coco soundtrack because we are doing a Coco inspired party, and that's Callie's absolute favorite music right now. Do you like it? You wanna come look at the table? Well, because tacos and Coco go together, don't they? I like your yellow outfit to match.
That's all I can do.
That looks amazing.
Let's start by the heart head.
I love the heart head. We also wrote out what things were. It's kind of, that says churro popcorn, condiments, or our meat is almost ready, salsa,
Mama, can I show you
cheese and churros and chippies. Okay, I think we're ready. We have our trail of chips, churro popcorn. We have 4 different condiments here, red onion, and then there's cilantro, and lime. But we also have avocado salsa over here, sour cream, chopped up Roma tomatoes. I'm kind of using the cilantro and lime garnishes as decor as well. We have our taco meat here, salsa, some homemade guacamole, our cheese for sprinkling, some olives, our churros, and then more of our chips. And then we have this cute little taste tester down here.